Hey guys, it's Driftwood with Drifting Squid Games here with a tutorial on some AI tools that we've been using to expedite and make our Pokemon fan game even better. And so I have 3 tools that I want to share with you. None of these are ChatGPT, by the way. I think these are all better than ChatGPT at what they do in their own little category. So we'll talk about one that will help you create visual assets for your game, one to actually help you with code. I know that's something that a lot of people who are not like software developers struggle with, is like if you want to make a new ability, or you want to do some special things with moves, or you want to change how some of the underlying things work in the game, you actually need to code some of that in using Ruby. And if you don't know how to do that, then it might be difficult, but hopefully this tool will help a little bit, if not help you outright write code, to at least help you understand it better. And then the last one is an audio generation tool. And the first tool we're going to talk about is Microsoft Copilot. So Microsoft Copilot is pretty cool because honestly, I think it's like just so much better at doing what ChatGPT wants to do and more. This is my Copilot window. You should have Copilot kind of built in if you have a more modern Windows PC. It's in pre-release right now, and it can use GPT-4 for like some of the things that you would use ChatGPT for. So like here, I said, hey, I need to create a concept for an executive for the villainous team in my Pokemon game. His name is Brooks. He specializes in Shadow Turf and Water Pokemon, and he's a mystical sage, shadowy scientist. Please help me create concept art for this character. And wouldn't you know, look at some of this stuff that it made for me. This, the nice thing too is I can kind of save these images off and build a concept around the character too. So like in my Notion, I just have this page dedicated to this character Brooks, and I have a bunch of images. I'm like, ooh, this looks like what I could imagine Brooks to look like. Maybe this is something I could imagine Brooks to look like. And then I said, hey, can you create a pixel art version of this too? Copilot absolutely sure can create some of those. Holding on, I like this one too a lot. Like this one might be something worth considering. So I took all these images and I put them in a Notion page for who Brooks is. And then the one that we ended up settling on was something a little bit like this. And then what we did is we went into paint.net and ended up making a battle sprite for it. Ended up reducing the size of this thing and, kind of making it my own, and then cleaned it up, turned it in. I put a Pokeball in his other hand over here, and this is his battle sprite. Now I have a battle sprite for this character in my game that I was able to give a description of what I want this character to look like to Microsoft Copilot, and it gave me this. So Microsoft Copilot, that's the first AI tool that I want to talk about. Second AI tool that I want to tell you guys about is Find. So Find does a lot of cool things that ChatGPT does, but it's way better. For one thing, it searches the internet. So anything that's on the internet, it can help you with. The other thing is that because so I've been using Pokemon SDK to develop my game. Pokemon SDK's entire library of classes are on the internet. So Find can actually look through the class list of Pokemon SDK to help make sense of your code. And I did this this is like the actual code of the Pokemon SDK, right? I wanted to make a move or an ability that assesses the Pokemon's type and then turns all normal type moves that it uses into the given type. So, I looked and I thought, you know what sounds kind of like that? Changing move type, which inherits from boosting move type. And so Pixelate does something similar, Refrigerate does something similar, and I'm not a Ruby developer, so some of this stuff, I'm still understanding how the syntax works for this language. It's not always evidently clear to me, and I'm relatively new with Pokemon SDK too. I've only been working with it for like 4 months, so I don't understand how all of these different classes and modules work. So what I did was I copied changing move type, which inherits from boosting move type, and I went over to Find, and I said, hey, can you explain what this Pokemon SDK class is doing? And the thing that's really cool about Find is, one, it's going to give me a more specific answer, at least in my experience. It gives me a more specific answer than what ChatGPT would ever give me. And I think some of that is attributed to the fact that all this stuff is online. And two, it cites its sources on the side here. So it starts telling you about object-oriented programming. It gives you, somebody was asking about the Pokemon SDK on Reddit, learning object relationships with Ruby with Pokemon. And then there's a Pokemon community post here too. And you can feed it more code too. It's going to remember a lot of the stuff that you give it, and then it'll explain all these things to you. So it says, the changing move type class is provided in the Pokemon SDK code is designed to handle the dynamic changing of move types based on certain conditions, particularly in the context of Pokemon battles. This class inherits from boosting move type, indicating it likely extends or modifies the behavior of move types in some way, likely by boosting their effectiveness under certain conditions. Here's a breakdown of the key components and functionalities of changing move type class. So like already this is teaching me about how this method works and how it might relate to other methods within the Pokemon SDK. It's really cool. And I created type-based move change that inherits from changing type move change. And by the way, Find helped me build this method. It helped me write it. We're going to change the normal type moves to the given type. My ability's name is Efficiency. And this works. This works in the code. It changes my normal type moves. So if the target isn't the user, and if the move isn't Weather Ball, and if the type isn't normal, then overwrite the move type to the user's type 1. Cool. So like my ground type Pokemon that has this ability is going to make all of its normal type damage dealing moves, or moves that target the opponent, into ground type moves. Awesome. And I can do that because I'm learning about the classes, because Find can explain it to me like I'm an idiot. Because let's face it, we all kind of are when it comes to programming. You can learn all this stuff from Find. It's free, it works really, really well, and I've been loving Find for both for my Pokemon projects, but also professionally as well. It helps me with a lot of things that I need to do in web development in addition to video game development. And for audio, I'm using Suno. This is one that I just started using today, and it's like scary how good it is. Caveat on this one, it is technically free, but you're capped at like 10 songs a day or something like that, and I think it generates 2 songs per query. It's a little bit limiting if you want to make a lot of custom music for your game, but they also have like an $8 a month thing. There is a free plan, and I've been making some custom music that I actually have been enjoying, including this one. I put a prompt in here. You can say, I want only instrumental, so I don't need lyrics for it. And then you can describe the song. I wanted something contrapuntal with strings. And this one, we're going to use this one, Robuchi Clash, in our game because it's a bop. It's kind of great. And if you have the paid plan, you can just iterate over and over. You're able to go in here and then like, hey, let me remix this song, or continue from this song. Let's do more with it. And it's pretty cool. We're implementing a couple of these songs in our fan game. You can create your own free music for your fan game. So these are the 3 tools that I've been using to the game that we're making all that much better, all that much faster, and doing things that I couldn't have even done a year ago. So, good stuff. So I hope this has helped somebody out. If it did, leave a thumbs up. Please like the video and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.